A pleasant day to everyone. Today we are going to discuss about tourism and hospitality organization, which is under chapter 5. At the end of this chapter, we should be able to explain the international tourism organizations, get acquainted with the regional tourist organizations, discuss the role of a national tourism office in the promotion of tourism and hospitality, explain the importance of national professional tourism organizations in the development of tourism and hospitality, and to be able to enumerate the difference of national professional tourism and hospitality organizations in the Philippines and in the United States. Since tourism and hospitality is a diverse industry made up of many different segments, there is a need to interrelate and share information. This has led to the establishment of several public and private organizations and at the international, national, regional, state, and local levels. First, we will discuss about the international organizations. In the international organizations, we have the United Nations World Tourism Organization or the UNWTO. So, it is the chief international organization in the field of travel and tourism. It is an intergovernmental technical body which deals with all aspects of tourism. It began its legal existence on January 2, 1975. It was born of the International Union of Official Travel Organization, or what they called as IUOTO. It is a non-governmental technical body which first sets up at The Hague, Netherlands in 1925. It is to promote tourism for the economic, social, and cultural advancement of all nations. The UNWTO works in cooperation with all international organizations, particularly the United Nations, as well as with commercial and non-commercial bodies which is involved in tourism. This also has memberships under UNWTO. There are three classes of members. First, we have the full members, which are the sovereign states. Second, we have the associate members, which are the territories or groups of territories that are not responsible for their external relations, but whose membership is approved by the state which assumes responsibility for their external relations. And third, we have the affiliate members, which are the international bodies. It both have a governmental and non-governmental, which is concerned with the specialized interests in tourism. It is as well as commercial and non-commercial bodies, and it associates with activities that are related to the aims of UNWTO. The UNWTO has the same legal character as the United Nations, and it is specialized agencies. It also has three important legally functioning bodies, namely the General Assembly, the Executive Council, and the Secretariat, which is directed by a Secretary General. First, we are going to discuss the General Assembly. This assembly meets only once every 2 years. It is the supreme organ of the UNWTO. It is composed of representatives from all member states, and each member has the right to vote in the decision-making process. However, the Assembly resolutions are not binding on the member states. They are simply called as recommendations. The Executive Council, which is the second important legally functioning bodies, is they meet at least twice a year. It is composed of members that are elected by the Assembly for a 4-year term based on a fair which is equitable for geographical distribution. The function of this council is to implement the decisions of the assembly and prepare for the future sessions. The last and not the least, we have the Secretariat, which is headed by a Secretary General. This carries out the decisions of the General Assembly and the Executive Council. The so-called Secretary General is elected every 4 years by the General Assembly on the recommendation of the Executive Council. So, in order to establish its central role in the field of tourism, the UNWTO establishes and maintains effective collaboration with the United Nations and it is specialized agencies. It also participates in the activities of the United Nations to develop a program. So, we have there a list which is on how to accomplish the objectives of UNWTO when it comes to promoting tourist spots or how effectively to promote a tourism. So first, we have monitors and identifies trends in world tourism. I think that is very important since we are gathering tourists and to entertain them when it comes to new trends in the industry. Next, we have studies, travel demands, marketing trends, tourist motivation, and alternative approach to marketing. I think this is very important also since by studying travel demand, marketing trends, and tourist motivation, and any other alternative approach means we are going to improve the way we deliver, the way we serve, the way we give service to the tourist who visits the specific city. Next we have is surveys the environmental effects of travel growth and makes recommendations for the protection of natural and cultural resources. This is also very important since we are going to engage to natural environment. Next is provide services for developing and organizing tourism for countries. I think everyone is aware with that since we need to have services that high quality, which also helps in developing and organizing tourism for other certain countries. Next, we have serves as a clearing house for tourist information and informs members about tourism and hospitality development, conducts vocational training programs, works for the elimination or reduction of governmental measures for international travel and the standardization of requirements, which includes passport, visas, police registration, and frontier formalities. Next, we have assist and develops technical cooperation projects and works to standardize equipment, terms, phraseology, and signs as an aid to easier travel and understand for foreign visitors. We also have the official publications of UNWTO. First, we have the International Travel Statistics. Second, the Travel Abroad, which is Frontier Formalities. The third one is Economic Review of World Tourism. Fourth is Technical Bulletins. And five, we have the manuals. Moving over, we have International Civil Aviation Organization, or what we called as ICAO. The ICAO is an organization of around 134 governments, which is established for the purpose of promoting civil aviation on a worldwide scale. It was established at the Chicago Conference of 1944 and the 96 Articles of the Chicago Convention was established by the privileges and restrictions of the member countries. The following are the objectives of the ICAO, or what we call as International Civil Aviation Organization. First is to adopt international standards and to recommend practices for regulating air navigation. Second, we have to recommend installation of navigation facilities by member countries. Next, we have the set forth proposal for the reduction of customs and immigration formalities. Fourth, we have plan for the safe and orderly growth of international civil aviation throughout the world. Fifth, we have to encourage the improvement of the art of aircraft design and operation for peaceful purposes. Next, we have to seek the development of airways, airports, and air navigation facilities for international civil aviation. Seventh, we have to provide for safe, regular, efficient, and economical air transportation. Eighth, we have discourage unreasonable competition. Ninth, to ensure that the rights of contracting countries are fully respected and that every member has a fair opportunity to operate international airlines. Tenth, we have to discourage discrimination between contracting countries and to promote the development of all aspects of air transportation. Moving forward to the International Air Transport Association, or what we call as IATA. The International Air Transport Association was established in 1945 in Havana. It was composed of airline operators attached to the national delegations of the ICAO conference in Chicago. At present, membership includes more than 112 scheduled airlines. Their objectives are to promote safe, regular, and economical air transport, foster air commerce, and study problems that is connected with the industry. The IATA serves as the agency throughout which airlines seek jointly to solve problems that cannot be solved individually. It is involved in standardizing tickets, prices, weight bills, baggages, and other documents. And this also helps make travel uniform throughout the world. And although setting rates is the most significant aspect of the work of IATA, the final responsibility rests within the individual governments. In IATA, every member airline holds a single organization which changes and only time will tell its final role, which certainly will be less influential than in the past. Moving on, we have the World Travel and Tourism Council, or what we call as WTTC. So, the World Travel and Tourism Council is the only global forum whose members are the top decision makers in the travel and tourism industry. It is the only body representing the private sector in all parts of the industry worldwide. And over 150 members comprises of CEOs, presidents, or chairmen of airline, airports, hotel, cruise lines, travel agencies, tour operators, and travel technology suppliers. The said council drives on three strategic priorities which it has identified as hindering the successful development of travel and tourism. However, now and in the future freedom to travel, policies for growth and tourism for tomorrow. The said council also maintains a professional staff in its London office under the leadership of its president and CEO. This organization is also headed by a board of executive directors who guide the work of the council in the fulfillment of its mission. This said, WTTC is a non-profit organization and it is registered as a company in the country, which is named as United Kingdom, which has limited by guarantee. This council also have a development organization. So the development organization are the following. First is the World Bank, or what we call, or what which is located at US. The OPEC Fund for International Development, which is located in Austria. The third one it is the Asian Development Bank, which is located in the Philippines, and the Islamic Development Bank, which is located in Saudi Arabia. Moving forward, we have the regional organization. So, under regional organization, some countries and regions feel that it is important to bond together and to strengthen their respective tourism programs. And these regional organizations have become excellent sources of information. So under it, we have the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, or what we call as OECD. So the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development was set up in a convention signed in Paris on December 14th on 1960. It provides that the OECD shall promote policies which is designed to achieve the highest sustainable economic growth and employment by raising standard of living in member countries. It also maintains financial stability and contributing to the development of the world economy. To contribute to the sound of economic expansion and, and also in economically developing non-member countries, this also contributes the expansion of world trade on a multilateral. It is a non-discriminatory basis in accordance with international obligations. So the members of the OECD are Australia, Austria, Belgium, Canada, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Iceland, Ireland, Italy, Japan, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, Portugal, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Turkey, the United Kingdom, and the United States. The tourism is an integral part of its objective, and by recognizing this, the OECD has established a tourism committee which is responsible for coordinating studies. This also organizes meetings of members of countries, which is to improve the statistical methods of monetary exchange and accounting. And this also assess the policies of members countries and the impact of tourism to the country itself. Moving forward, we have the Pacific Asia Travel Association, or what we call as PATA or PATA. So this PATA or PATA was organized in Hawaii in 1951. It is composed of more than 1,000 organizations, which includes the government, air and steamship lines, wholesale and retail travel agencies around carriers, hotel, publishers, advertisers, public relation firms, and travel associations, with the major interest in the Pacific area. Its purpose is to develop, promote, and facilitate travel in the Pacific area. This includes Pakistan, the United States, and Canada. The PATA's hallmark has been in an innovation and a conservation. It was an early leader in recognizing the need for for an environmental ethic among those involved in the tourism industry. The PATA has initiated the PATA Code for Environment Tourism. The code is environmentally responsible tourism, which means tourism recognizes the necessity of ensuring sustainable future. It meets the needs of the tourism industry at present and does not compromise the ability of this and future generations to conserve the environment. The PATA's model for an environmental ethic for the travel and tourism industry foreshadows the power of industry coalitions, which directs from future tourism trends and their relationship with international economic affairs. The PATA recognizes a wide range of conference, reports, advertising, and other types of programs. Under PATA, we have here the following list of some PATA's publications. First, we have the travel news, or what we call as the Pacific Travel News. Second is the annual statistical reports. Third is the travel market study. Fourth is the meeting specific, or what we call as a country by country facilitates guide. Fifth is a PATA trade manual. And sixth, we have the Tourism International Research Pacific, which conducts or takes place quarterly. Next organization, we have the Caribbean Tourism Association, or the CTA. The Caribbean Tourism Association was founded in 1951 to encourage and assist in the development of tourism throughout the Caribbean area. So, the objectives are the following. So, the CTA has 7 objectives, but I only put 3. So, just an example of the objectives that they have. So, first, they provide an instrument for close collaboration among the various territories and countries that are concerned. Next is the augment and assist in local promotional and development efforts of the members of the association and act as a, a liaison between the members. And third, which is to provide a liaison among the member governments, government agencies active in tourism development and promotion, travel and transportation industries, and the organization that actives in tourism and regional development.